He's more than a predator, he's an echo of the mountains, a fleeting shadow in the icy heights, revealing himself only to the most patient and persistent eyes. Have you ever wondered how a living being can not only survive, but truly thrive in an environment where the air is thin, the landscape is unforgiving, and the cold bites with an almost painful intensity? David, the tireless photographer and explorer of wild worlds, embarked on a journey many would consider almost impossible. Armed only with his high-precision camera, his sharp eye, and a patience that defies time, he set off for the heart of the planet's most hostile mountain ranges with a single, audacious mission: to unravel the secrets of one of Earth's most elusive and mysterious felines, the legendary snow leopard. It's in the vast and imposing Central Asian mountain ranges, a kingdom of peaks that seem to touch the sky and valleys that disappear into the horizon, that a creature of stunning beauty and almost mythical existence dwells, the snow leopard, Panthera uncia. Its domain stretches across some of the planet's most inhospitable regions, cutting through the Himalayas, Tibet, and Mongolia, territories where nature dictates the rules with an iron hand. David arrived in this world of snow-capped peaks and deep valleys, where every breath was a palpable challenge, a conscious effort to take in the thin air. Freezing temperatures were a relentless constant, and the silence, an almost deafening presence, was broken only by the ghostly howl of the wind or, occasionally, by the distant and menacing sound of an avalanche, a constant reminder of the mountain's raw power. He observed the craggy rocks, some covered by a thin, delicate layer of freshly fallen snow that made them even more treacherous, while others displayed their bare, gray surfaces. Vast expanses of open field stretched before him, where sparse vegetation clung to life with admirable stubbornness, fighting to sprout among the stones. The sunlight, when it finally managed to filter through the dense, heavy clouds, created an almost ethereal glow over the untouched landscape, transforming the scenery into a painting of cold, pale tones. The scent was unmistakable, a mix of pure, icy air, with a slight hint of damp earth and ancient rock. The immensity and severity of the environment were palpable, almost overwhelming, and David felt a mix of deep respect and admiration for any being that managed to not only survive, but flourish there. His eyes, accustomed to unraveling nature's secrets, scanned every crevice, every rocky outcrop, every shadow, searching for any sign of the presence of the elusive snow ghost. That environment seemed to defy the very essence of life, but, somehow, life always found a way. With each day David spent in that unforgiving setting, the certainty that he was on the verge of something extraordinary and unique grew. He knew that, somewhere, that creature was lurking, a living and inspiring manifestation of nature's indomitable resilience. The snow leopard is, without a doubt, a master of adaptation, a solitary hunter who has perfected the art of discretion and invisibility. Its thick, luxurious coat, with its distinct black and brown rosettes against a gray and white background, acts as an almost perfect camouflage against the rocky and snowy backdrop of the mountains. David spent tireless days and nights tracking almost imperceptible traces, observing the subtle signs that indicated the feline's presence: a fresh footprint in the new snow, a distinct scratch mark on a prominent rock, the subtle and indescribable scent left on a solitary bush. The snow leopard is an opportunistic and agile predator, endowed with a muscular and incredibly flexible body that allows it to leap truly impressive distances. Imagine up to 15 meters in a single bound, an athletic feat that defies gravity. Its long, thick tail, which can be almost the same length as its body, is not just an adornment. It's an essential tool, used as a counterbalance to maintain perfect equilibrium on steep, rocky terrain, a true masterpiece of natural engineering. Hunting for it is a silent and deadly dance. The snow leopard typically ambushes its prey, such as wild goats, capras, blue sheep, beryl, and marmots, descending the slopes with surprising speed, catching them completely by surprise. Its keen eyesight and acute sense of smell are essential tools in this challenging and unforgiving environment. David, with his focused lens and monk-like patience, managed to capture the rare image of a snow leopard ingeniously using its tail to keep warm, wrapping it comfortably around its body while sleeping protected in a rocky crevice, a rarely documented behavior that revealed the animal's adaptive intelligence. David's patience was rewarded with every new behavior he managed to record, revealing the incredible intelligence and adaptability of this magnificent feline. He saw, in every graceful movement and every strategic choice, the wisdom accumulated over millennia of evolution, a creature perfectly attuned to its habitat. Those moments, when nature revealed itself in its purest and most authentic form, were the very essence of his mission, justifying every sacrifice. The snow leopard is not just an exceptional hunter, it is a being full of fascinating characteristics that make it truly unique in the animal kingdom. Scientifically, it is known that these felines possess wide nostrils, a crucial and ingenious adaptation for breathing the thin air of high altitudes. Their lungs are also notably larger in proportion to their body compared to other big cats, allowing them to absorb and process more oxygen in an environment where it is scarce. Unlike other large felines, the snow leopard does not roar, it emits soft and distinct vocalizations, such as meows, hisses, and low growls, which makes it even more mysterious and consistent with its silent nature. They are predominantly solitary animals, with territories that can extend for hundreds of square kilometers, and are rarely seen in pairs, except during the brief mating season or when the female is caring for her cubs. Culturally, the snow leopard is often revered as a protective spirit of the mountains by many local communities in Central Asia. Ancient legends and tales passed down through generations narrate stories of its innate wisdom and elusive nature, symbolizing untamed strength and wild freedom. David, on a cold and crisp morning, witnessed a behavior that, until then, had been only a whispered rumor among local residents, a snow leopard playing, almost childishly, with an eagle feather on top of a rocky peak. The feline tossed the feather up and down with its paws, with surprising agility and lightness, like a domestic kitten in a moment of pure joy, before silently disappearing into the white and infinite landscape. It was a rare and moving glimpse into its playful nature, a reminder that even life in such an inhospitable environment, despite all its harshness, still found space for lightness and spontaneity. That fleeting instant, captured by David's attentive lens, was living proof that even the ghost of the snows had its moments of pure, unadulterated joy. Life in the icy mountains is a constant struggle, a daily battle for survival, and even for the incredibly adapted snow leopard, the challenges are immense and growing. The scarcity of prey, intensified by climate change affecting vegetation and, consequently, the population of herbivores it depends on, represents an ever-increasing threat to its existence. But the greatest danger, without a doubt, comes from the relentless expansion of human activity. David was patiently documenting a solitary female, seemingly desperately searching for food in an increasingly shrinking territory, when the almost sacred silence of the mountain was abruptly broken by a deafening noise that sent shivers down his spine, the thundering roar of a heavy excavator. A group of human workers was invading the area, mercilessly clearing the hillside for the construction of a new road, tearing through the heart of that untouched ecosystem. The feline, until then a figure of serene grace and majestic power, showed a visible and alarming sign of panic. Its muscles tensed and stiffened, its ears moved incessantly, picking up every strange and disturbing sound. The snow leopard, which had always dominated that territory with sovereignty and naturalness, now found itself literally cornered, its ancestral home being destroyed before its own eyes. David's camera, with its cold and impartial lens, recorded the palpable anguish in the animal's gaze, a profound mixture of fear, confusion, and unquestionable hopelessness. The leopard tried desperately to camouflage itself among the rocks, but the incessant and deafening noise of the machine was a brutal and inescapable invader. It was a moment of pure helplessness for David, witnessing the overwhelming fragility of wildlife in the face of civilization's relentless and insensitive advance. David's heart ached with deep pain. He was there to document the beauty and complexity of life, but now he found himself confronted with the raw and devastating reality of its destruction. That metallic, deafening sound was the ominous harbinger of an unequal and possibly lost battle. At the height of the human invasion, when it seemed the snow leopard had nowhere left to run, that all its escape routes were sealed, nature showed its innate and surprising resilience. The feline, with impressive cunning and a finely tuned survival instinct, brilliantly used the terrain to its advantage. Instead of fleeing to even higher altitudes, where prey was even scarcer and survival even tougher, she patiently waited. Using her perfect camouflage, a blessing that made her almost invisible to untrained eyes, she skillfully hid in a rocky crevice, practically becoming part of the landscape. When the workers momentarily moved away to refuel the machine, creating a small window of opportunity, the snow leopard, with quick, decisive, and incredibly silent movements, descended an almost imperceptible trail that only she knew. She took advantage of a dense fog that rose from the valley to slip out of the danger zone, like a ghost dissipating into the air. It wasn't a direct confrontation, nor a desperate flight, but a strategic escape, an act of pure intelligence and adaptation. David, who had kept his camera aimed, with fingers numb from the cold and eyes fixed on the landscape, managed to capture the exact instant when the snow leopard leaped across a small frozen stream, with the mist's vapor creating a mystical and ethereal aura around it. It was the most important photograph of the day, perhaps of his life, the ghost of the snows, overcoming the gigantic obstacle imposed by human presence and reaffirming its existence and freedom. The photograph was not just a visual record, it was a symbol of hope, an eloquent ode to wildlife's ability to find a way, to persist, even in the face of the greatest adversities. That graceful leap, that silhouette slowly disappearing into the fog, was living proof that life always finds a way to persist, to reinvent itself, and to continue its journey. David's journey through the icy mountains was much more than a simple quest for spectacular images. It was a profound and transformative lesson on the unbreakable resilience of life and the vital importance of coexistence between humanity and wild nature. The snow leopard, this elusive, magnificent, and mysterious being, is a powerful symbol of both the fragility and the indomitable strength of nature. Currently, the species is classified as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, with an estimated population of fewer than 10,000 mature individuals, an alarming number that reminds us of the urgency of its protection. The main threats to its survival include habitat loss due to the advance of human infrastructure, illegal hunting for its valuable fur and bones used in traditional medicine, and the growing conflict with local herders who view leopards as a threat to their livestock. What David learned in that harsh yet breathtakingly beautiful environment is that every creature has a vital and irreplaceable role in the complex and delicate balance of our planet. Respect for wildlife is not just a moral option or a luxury, it is an intrinsic necessity for our own survival and well-being. David's camera may have captured an ephemeral image, but what his eyes saw and what his soul felt will be marked forever. And now, this story, filled with challenges and hope, is yours too. Subscribe to our channel, Wild Stories with David, to continue hearing what nature still has to tell, and join us in the crucial mission to protect these wild stories, these living treasures that deserve to be told, preserved, and respected by all generations.